It is 6:30, so we'll call the Budget Committee meeting to order. Since we have a new elected Budget Committee in general, we will hold elections for a chairman to begin with. And so I'll entertain a motion for nominations.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Wendell Marlowe for chair.
Mr. Marlowe for chair. Other nominations for chair? Do I hear a motion nomination cease?
I shouldn't make that one.
I'll make a motion nomination cease, and we'll, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? The record reflect it was unanimous. Commissioner Marlowe,
Need to do a vice chairman.
you will serve.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now vice chair. I'll open the floor for nominations for vice chair.
I move for Annette.
Ned Stafford for vice chair. Do I hear other nominations? Hearing none, do I hear nomination cease? So moved. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Mr. Tommy Jones called me today, and he is sick, and he regrets he couldn't be here after he'd worked hard to be on the Budget Committee. He said, I hate to miss the first one, but he had been out of town, and he come back, and he said he's going to try to make it, but he said, I just can't get there, So Commissioner Marlowe, we'll turn the floor to you.
Okay, first order of business is the minutes for September the 5th. You've had an opportunity to look those over.
Motion. I've read them.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any questions or concerns concerning the minutes? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved, same. Approved unanimously. Finance report.
Your finance report is in your packet. This is the first one that you've had since the budget's been passed. The last two pages of the finance report has the fund balances and the reserve balances. And it's pretty new, but everything's looking pretty good. Any questions?
Any questions concerning the budget report? Finance report, excuse me.
Move to approve.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That's unanimous as well. There's a couple of requests from the school system. Do you want to do these, Dr. Wright?
Okay, you have two items that we're bringing before you this evening. We've already met with the Education Committee and both passed. First I want to bring to your attention is approve a lease agreement for a reel mower for Watertown High School. And as addressed, if you do not have a copy, if you would like something to look at. You have one?
There's a copy attached to the back.
Okay. As stated earlier, the question coming forward as far as why the school would ask to lease as opposed to buying. A reel mower runs about $70,000. This is something that they are purchasing out of their own funds. It's not anything that would be out of taxpayer dollars or anything that the county would have to pay or compensate for. With it, you're looking at a monthly lease fee of $532. And again, this is something that they need.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
I got two questions. Tell me, the reason it's coming before us is because it's just a lease?
Because it's a lease.
It doesn't have to have our approval?
No,
Just
not
a
on the
lease.
amount, it's the lease itself. Yes.
And is the John Deere here, it says South Carolina, is that because you can't get one of those in this area, or?
Well, Mr. Gentry brought to our attention that he found one in Murfreesboro. Again, we've left this to the school system, or the school, excuse me, that they have searched and found this and were quite satisfied as far as what they would provide. But Mr. Jennings said something even earlier that I would not have even thought about, that even with local car dealerships, that they can locate and work with someone that's outside the state and still service whatever is needed. So again, this was moved forward from Watertown, and we agree with them because they simply cannot afford a brand new one. And I also noted, Mayor, that earlier that in talking to Mount Juliet High School, 3 other high schools already have reel mowers that they've been using. Mount Juliet High School is the one that they have right now is about to wear out. They've already determined that they're going to lease their next one and not purchase because they're just too cost prohibitive.
Thank you.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, unanimous as well.
You've got another one that's not on there, Sharon, but it's the, to move money from the, Gladeville Middle School bond.
It's on the,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
I didn't
just
see
on
it
your
on the back.
agenda.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind, I'm sorry.
and then second piece as far as asking for your approval as far as what we're entitling the West Wilson Middle School project. This is something that we have been really actively trying to not only provide but to fund for the last 4 or 5 years at West Wilson Middle School. And with that, which we already have a history as far as that, if we have some overage on any of the large construction projects, that we use that funding to pay for, offset what's something that's been necessary. West Wilson Middle School has been really inadequate as far as what they've been able to offer their youngsters compared to the other middle schools, and particularly with Gladeville Middle coming on. And as I even asked Commissioner Marlowe earlier at the education meeting, what did they provide for the kids when, you know, you just go to the restroom, they had either had to porta potty or had to walk back into the main building. They did not have the concession stands or the press box or anything that we're seeing at the other middle schools. And the other thing that I would also note with it, as far as just for many kids, particularly at that age, that is a strong reason that many of them enjoy school. So with that, are looking at $1.295 million that we're estimating that would cover what we have seen as an equitable contribution at West Wilson Middle School. And we're looking at about 1.4 estimated that we're going to have left over from the Gladeville Middle project, and would ask for approval.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or concerns?
Discussion from, I know, back and forth, and I'm sorry for not reading my emails, but we're good to go on this, Mike?
Yes, we are. Checked with bond counsel, and he said, and he's already prepared a resolution.
Could I request that you make sure that you contacted the bond issue in our minutes so everybody on the commission can read that and know that you already checked with the bond counsel and that it's okay for us to do this?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
And your board has already approved this?
Yes, sir.
This is direction they wanted to
Absolutely.
go?
And we're fortunate enough to have a parent in the audience, Mr. Hobbs. He probably could say something about this project.
I'd be glad to. I've coached football there for years, and I've raised 2 kids through that school. And to see women not having nowhere to go to the bathroom, young teenagers, and they're having to go next to the roads. They're going on a tree line. You can imagine what that looks like. You have probably about 10,000 people down there watching football games.
And even changing clothing or whatever, they don't have a
It's
system.
been a well-needed project for years, and I stand behind Mr. Marlowe.
One more question, Ms. Wright. So is this enough to cover the project, and if there's any left over, what happens then?
Well, again,
Come back?
we'll come back, and we're estimating about 1.4 million that will overage, but the project itself, 1.295.
So we already know what the project's gonna cost us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good deal. Okay.
Okay, anything else? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That's unanimous as well.
While you're looking there, I need to ask Sharon, you need to do anything to report on the debt office?
That just needs to go in the packet. It's not really for anybody to do anything on in this committee.
I'll put it in the packet.
Okay.
Sharon, do you know about the $200?
I do. This committee is required to approve a petty cash fund for any department that we have. This was passed by the Ag Management Committee back a couple of years ago, and Audit brought it to our attention that we had never taken it to this committee.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or concerns? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Resolution, or is it just approved here?
It's just approved here.
Good. I love to hear that.
Yes.
And we've got a few things to declare surplus. Sharon, do you need this is from multiple departments and programs, right?
I'm sure that you guys don't want me to read all these, but they're from every department. A lot of the departments will have them marked as to what's going to go to Gov Deals, or what's going to be destroyed, or what will be sold at the surplus auction. The surplus auction is November the 1st, and it's on there for you. And everything is in here. So all this will go, or after you guys vote to declare it, it will either be sold at surplus auction, destroyed, or sold on Gov Deals.
Well, I'm kind of like Mr. Glover. I would like to see that any vehicle that is worth putting on Gov Deals is actually done. Because I know, listening to William, I know he's done quite well with selling stuff on Gov Deals, and it'd be good to get as much money back out of this stuff as possible.
Right.
Only that one thing to correct, whether it's good or not, in an automobile, they can use for parts. So even if they don't work, I'd like to put anything that automobile wise.
Sometimes on Gov Deals, if they're not running, it's hard to get somebody to come and pick them up. That's the only thing, but we will certainly do whatever you tell us to.
I'd like all vehicles put on Gov.
Yeah.
Okay, Sheriff's Department, WEMA, typically, they do that anyway. Now, there are a couple vehicles in here that are not Sheriff's Department and WEMA, but we will be happy to put them on Gov Deals.
What's the, if something doesn't sell on Gov Deals, then what do you do?
You can either re-auction it, or we can just put in there that if it doesn't sell on Gov Deals, then you can send it to public auction. And if you can go ahead and get it put on pretty quick, you can get it through the Gov Deals. You can do 7 days, 14 days. And if it doesn't sell on that, we can bring it to the regular
Bring it to the auction.
auction.
Okay. All right. Was that in the form of a motion?
Motion,
Are you dealing with all of them?
yes.
All right, I'm gonna, unless you tell me different, I'm gonna put, the motion's gonna be to declare all these items surplus, sell the vehicles on Gov Deals, if they don't sell, put them in public auction, destroy those that are marked destroyed, sell the rest.
That's exactly what I said.
I knew it was.
There's a motion to that. Second. And there's a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? That's unanimous as well.
I had a vested interest in that, I didn't wanna be drawing that.
And also a budget amendment for animal control.
Yeah. Animal Control met this afternoon, and they are requesting to spend out of their own budget $2,646.36 to purchase 30 beds.
30 or 3?
30.
30.
Yes, there's 3 on here.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
30.
that's my fault. It
That's
is, it's
something
30,
out there.
yeah.
I wouldn't have voted that for 30.
Yeah.
No, me either. I saw that. I thought
I
that's an
did
expensive
that.
dog.
Typo.
What they've been doing is, 30 were donated years and years ago to them, but they were made out of PCV, and the dogs have pretty much destroyed them, or they have destroyed them multiple times. They keep purchasing parts to fix them. The newer ones are made out of aluminum, and the dogs are gonna have a pretty rough time chewing those up. So that's the request from Animal Control.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Okay, any old business? Any new business?
I got some new business I want to discuss. I don't know if this is the place to, but I noticed that a lot of these chairs in here are kind of worn or wobbly. And I'd like we try to make sure that we purchase some more, because I'd hate for somebody to fall out of one of them, get hurt, and then Attorney Jennings would try to take somebody to court and get this worked out. So I'd like for us to get some new chairs in here. It's kind of wobbly and old and worn. I think we might have enough money in general fund to pay for some.
She's giving that to me.
Oh, was I looking at you, man? I'm
I
sorry.
think it's up to you, Mayor.
I will take it under advisement.
Thank you
Staff.
so much. I appreciate you.
Any particular color you'd like?
I really love pink, but if you gotta get black, I'll be okay with that.
Okay.
From commissioners or visitors in the audience, is
Probably.
anybody out there like anything they'd like to?
Yeah, maybe we can get money from selling all this surplus and buy a new chair.
There you have it. I knew you'd figure it out for us.
Yes, sir.
Has there been any more discussion about local option sales tax and a ballot referendum?
I thought that already.
Yeah, didn't we approve that last month to come, it's gonna be in the county commission packet in November. So, not this month, but next.
Oh, one more thing too, the resolution for Dr. Wright, I need to make sure that it's in there as well, like, for this month. You remember that? We talked about the resolution for Dr. Wright.
I do now. I'm glad you reminded me. Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
I still have the information.
Anyone else?
Oh, I need to put that in form of motion.
No, do I still have the information?
Sure, I emailed it to you.
Oh, that's good enough.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Mayor, I want